Hello, MCM London. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Come on, how are you doing? We have the Power Rangers on the sofa. How are you? Austin St. John, Walter Jones, Karen Ashley, David Yost, everybody. How are you? How are you?
We're doing all right. I got a question. Anybody know what time it is? I'm sorry, let me say that. Anybody know what time it is?
That's not how I said it.
How do you
Say it like I said it. It's morphin' time. Right? There we go.
Anybody know what time it is? They use your voice and everything.
Yeah. So how have you all been? The con's been great for you all over the weekend?
Oh yeah. It's been awesome.
Met some great fans. Have you seen any good Power Ranger cosplayers around?
Yeah.
Quite a few.
Tons. Thank you guys. Look at everybody out there. Look, there's a Red Ranger right there. Green Ranger right there.
Who's cosplaying right now? Raise your hand.
Power Ranger
Okay,
cosplayers.
all right, so I see we got Tommy in the house.
Pink Ranger back there.
Pink Ranger.
Green Ranger, woo woo.
All right, doesn't have to be our season. I've seen there was a guy running around in a Blue Ranger, I think from Fury, that episode somewhere.
Saw a couple of Black Rangers today.
Gold Rangers yesterday. Saw a White Ranger yesterday. There are people all over.
There might have been Orange Ranger too, but I think he made that up.
Yeah? So did any of you guys watch the Super Sentai series before either being cast or for research?
No.
No? You just went straight in, David? No? Did you watch it?
No, I mean, we didn't know anything about the series when they were creating the series. We didn't find out about Super Sentai until we actually were well into our first season of filming, and we went to a dinner party with the producers and creators, and they showed us a couple episodes, and that was like, oh, we didn't really even know that existed. Yeah. So it's a totally different show than ours, obviously, and it's a lot darker, and ours is a lot more campy and fun.
Yeah, it's great. It's absolutely great. So how daunting was it from, as a young age, playing these characters?
That's a question we should ask you guys. How important was it to you to look up to your favorite character or characters? Was it important? Enough said.
That's it. So if you could change colour Ranger, which colour Ranger would you be, if not your own?
I wouldn't change it.
No, you'd keep it.
I wouldn't
You would
change
literally
it.
keep your own.
Yeah.
We do get asked that question quite a bit, but I think for most of us, we're so engrossed in our characters and we love our characters so much that it's just not even something that we want to think about being a different character. I love Billy and I love being the Blue Ranger, so it's awesome.
Cool. So how much training did you guys do for your roles?
I think a lot of us were trained already, but then when we got on the show, we continued our training. So I was already a martial artist. I was already a dancer. I already knew some gymnastics, but they improved over the time that we were working on the show because obviously we're doing it more often and we wanted to make sure the techniques were clean.
So what do you think earned Power Rangers the massive following it has today?
Power Rangers really didn't have any boundaries. I mean, didn't matter what race, what color, what country, what religion you were from. There was a character there that you could identify with. Yeah. Maybe even just on a family level. Maybe that guy was the big brother you always wanted, or she was the big sister, or the uncle figure. There was something for someone to reach out to and fill a portion of their life that they needed filled. And everybody could identify with that in some aspect or another.
Yeah.
And that doesn't change without time. I mean, obviously we're here 25 years later and the show is still shooting.
Yeah, still strong, very strong.
And there were robots and dinosaurs and
that didn't hurt, right? And plus, everybody deep down inside, we've always all wanted to be a superhero. And this was the first show where you had people that were young, and we were superheroes. We saved the world every day. And it wasn't just the guys, it was the girls. So everybody had somebody they could directly identify with.
Cool. So would you change anything about your characters? Would you maybe make them a bit more braver or a bit more intelligent or something like that? Or would you have your character just as they were?
Jason would have had a Ferrari.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, just a personal Ferrari. He still would have drove the T-Rex to battle, but he would have had a Ferrari in the garage and maybe a couple $1 billion.
Yeah.
I think it was great that we were very lucky because Mighty Morphin, it came on every day. So there were so many episodes of Mighty Morphin that you can watch, and they really developed the characters, and people really could, get to know each character, and everybody had a family, or there was just different things. But I like the fact that we weren't perfect kids. We were perfect in the sense that we were positive, but we would, make mistakes, and we would learn, and the best part is, as a team, we saved the world, and as a team, we did things together, and that's really a lesson that as a country, as a world, that we still are trying to figure out to work as a team. So
I mean, we were able to overcome our challenges. Like Zachary had a fear of bugs and spiders and snakes, and Trini was scared of heights. What was Billy afraid of?
Fish.
Fish.
Billy was afraid of fish.
That's different. And what about Jason? Was he afraid of anything?
I think he was afraid of not
Girls.
bringing his.
He was afraid of girls.
Jason never had a girlfriend, but
he was afraid of girls.
I think his biggest fear was not bringing his team home.
Yeah.
His fear was taking care of his team.
Kind of like the new movie, really, when you watch the Red Ranger in that, the fears he had to go for and stuff like that. Are there any funny moments you guys can tell us about off camera, any bloopers or anything that happened? David, have you got anything?
Well, yeah, I got a ton.
Go. Let's go, man.
Let's go. The first one would be Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger. He was the biggest prankster of all of us, I would say. And once I was stuck on set in the command center filming, and I couldn't get off, and I was starving, and he supposedly was my best friend. And he said, "Oh, dude, I'll go make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich." And I said, "Okay, that's really nice of you." And he came back with a sandwich, and I ate the sandwich, and I see the crew standing around laughing at me, and I was like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "I put a fly in your sandwich, dude." So I ate a fly. Nobody thinks that's funny. I think it's funny. I ate it.
How many of you have a best friend like that?
Yeah.
Raise your hand.
So mean.
That's special. That's special.
But I think some of the funnier moments were like Bulk and Skull, Paul Schreier and Jason Narvey. I can remember when Catherine Sutherland, the second Pink Ranger, her first day on set, she had to go film, and they went into her dressing room, and they took all of her furniture out of her dressing room. So when she came back, there was nothing in her dressing room. She's like, "Oh, wait, what's going on?" And then she went back on set and filmed something else, and when she came back, they had taken furniture from everybody else's dressing room and crammed it into her dressing room, so she couldn't even open the door. And she's like, "Oh my God, like, is this really what this is going to be like working on the show?" So they were definite pranksters too.
Definite. Any stories from you guys? Have you guys got any stories?
Well, one thing that was definitely involved was the guys were always like trying to one up each other. So when it came to like doing kicks or handstands or flips or stuff, like there were instances where sometimes you did it well, sometimes you didn't. So sometimes people fell on their face. Sometimes it was fun. Like we did a lot of 1-inch punches and pop side lock side, or something that Austin taught me. But it was pretty competitive, and that was always fun.
Yeah. So what's the favorite thing you'd take away from your character, like personal development wise? Like what would you take away from your character that really developed your acting and took you on further?
I would say, if you think about Power Rangers, we were so positive. So, for me, it was like Aisha was just the happiest person, and she would try to always find the positive side of things. And I think as an adult, that's kind of what I like to do. And especially coming to Comic-Cons and meeting all of you and hearing all of your stories and, just trying to encourage you and just trying to give you a moment, because the minute they walk up to the table, they all turn 5 years old again, whether they know it or not. And so it's just one of those things where we all take pride in really giving them a moment, really connecting and having a conversation and just, thanking them for all their support, because they've been around for 24, almost 25 years. And not a lot of shows can say that.
No. Anyone else? Anything that you've taken away, basically?
I think one of the things that we all felt was we felt being role models. That became important to us. Yeah. Because the show was so positive, and it was always a positive message. No bullying, no pollution. It was about making the world better. And so I think we all kind of walked away with more of that in our lives because we wanted that to be true to life.
I think that was probably one of the reasons that I went on. After the show, I taught martial arts all over the world. I studied at a lot of different studios. And it was really to kind of expand, but eventually I fell into the world of fire department.
Yeah.
And I think that was my effort to try and save lives for real.
Yeah.
I felt parents were military, mom was a cop, and I felt like they did it for real, and here I was faking it on TV.
Right.
So I kind of wanted to step up and make that shot. So I went in. I did 16 years as a fire medic, and then 4 years in service to my country. So it was Department of Defense overseas, trying to keep our military people alive in combat and non-combat. And I think that was maybe so I could hold my chin a little higher in my own family.
Right. Okay.
So,
what about you, David?
I mean, for me, I played such a smart, intelligent character, and I'm not like that in real life. So it was great to play that character because he had so many lines with so many big words, and I would have to break out the dictionary, and I'd have to look up the words to figure out what my character was saying, and I was like, oh my God, and then trying to make it sound normal. So for me, my character definitely helped me become a smarter person, and in doing so, like as I went on, I went back to school and I got a master's degree. And I actually took pride in learning, and I took pride in being smart. So it was really neat to play a character that sort of inspired me to become a smarter person in real life.
Brilliant. So did any of you guys take home any props from the series? Have any of you guys got any treasured props from the action?
No.
No? Come on.
I have I didn't take it, but I acquired it. I have the neon juice bar sign from Ernie's Juice Bar. So that's pretty cool. And I also have the original skateboard from the pilot that we did. Yeah. So the skateboard that Zach rode in on saying what's up to everybody. Everybody, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up. It was crazy.
David, you?
I did not acquire something, I did steal something. When I was working on the movie, the last day of filming, Jason Frank, my best friend, he said, hey, just take your ninja suit, because we were filming ninja scenes, whatever, because we had to catch a plane. And so on the last day of filming, I just put my ninja outfit in my suitcase, and we headed to the airport, and I got on a plane, so there was nothing they could do to stop me. And so I do have that. It's hanging up in my closet. And when they were teasing that Billy was going to be the Gold Ranger, Billy had a girlfriend or a girl that had a crush on him, and she created a Gold Ranger with Billy's face on it, and they did give me that statue, so I still do have that, but that's pretty much it.
Nice, nice. So do you think the Zords that you had rightly represented your Ranger?
I mean, Jason was, I guess the T-Rex was a bit loud and thunderous, but Jason was a walk softly, carry a big stick. And he was very quiet, he was monotone, he wasn't flashy, he didn't show off until the only line he ever said, as Jason, was in the transition to the Red Ranger. That was the only time you ever heard his voice go up, when he was saying it was morphin' time.
Yeah.
And I think that's when the T-Rex became who Jason was in battle.
Yeah.
So it works for him.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, everybody wanted to boogie with the bear, so that made sense.
That's it. David?
I mean, I think the Triceratops is very fitting to the Blue Ranger and to Billy. So I don't know. I think they go hand in hand. And obviously the costume matches the Zord.
Damn right. So one more question before we take some from the audience. Was there any funny costume malfunctions while on set?
We were wearing spandex. Of course there were malfunctions. We're like walking around in our underwear. I mean, there was always times where, something would go wrong. I mean, there were a lot. I'm one of those people who's always cold. So there would be plenty of times I was in the spandex and they were like, Karen needs Band-Aids. And they would say it, of course, in front of the whole crew. So I'd be completely embarrassed.
Well, when we were wearing the helmets, I was sporting a flat top. And it's hard to sport a flat top when you got on a helmet. So I had to take off the helmet and my hair would just be squished down. I was like,
no
everything was just down like in a circle, like the shape of the helmet. And I had to go and pick it out again and shape it, get it all, it was like, so that was always difficult.
Well, I was the youngest on the show.
18.
And gentlemen, at 18, your hormones are in full swing. Kind of hard to hide that in spandex. Because there didn't have to be a reason.
Jason
right?
needs Band-Aids.
Didn't have to be a reason. Jason needed bandages.
Yes, sir.
So there was just nothing I could do. The wind would blow, and I'm like, oh, not again.
David.
I don't even know what to say beyond that.
There's nothing to follow that. Leave it alone.
We'll leave it on that note.
Yeah.
I didn't have that issue,
No.
I don't think, but
Just went nice and smoothly for you.
I wore overalls for 60 episodes, so what could go wrong in overalls?
That's it. Right,
So I can tell you that the ladies, I began to appreciate the dexterity the ladies had because they could all reach the zipper on the back of their suit.
That's true.
Oh, wow.
I almost became the Yellow Ranger on many occasions
Yeah.
because I couldn't get out of that damn thing. I was like, somebody help me to the bathroom.
So we're going to take some questions from our audience now, guys. So if you have a question for these guys, put your hand up and we'll come straight out to you. Go over this one here first. If you'd like to stand up, please.
Hello, my name's Linda. I just want to say that I grew up watching you guys on TV and it was amazing. My question is, the whole experience, was it just breathtaking for you?
It was, it was an adventure. I mean, every kid wants to be a superhero, right? I grew up wanting to be Superman, and now here I am, a superhero on TV, and as an actor, as a young actor, working regularly on a television show, and seeing yourself on television, and seeing toys and trading cards and pogs and video games in your likeness. It was pretty incredible. It was like, wow, it blew my mind.
One here, if you'd like to stand up for me, please.
Hi, if you could come back to the show and play another role in another season, would you?
Yeah, I think if the show was written right and the opportunity was right, I think any of us would love to be a part of it, especially if it was union.
Yes.
Definitely. Right, there's one over here.
Hi there, guys. How you doing? All good? My question is, do you think there should be more female Red Rangers in the future?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like I wish there were more female leaders, because I think there have been a couple of girls be red. One girl, yeah. So absolutely, that'd be great.
Just for a few episodes.
Yeah, and a guy could be pink. I mean, it's all good, right? Real men wear pink. It's all good. We're ready for it.
Right. Go to the back and then we'll come to this one.
Hey guys, just one question. When did you first realise that Power Rangers had become as big as it had been? When did you first realise, oh, I'm on a massive TV show that's massive all over the world?
I think my first explanation for it was really anticlimactic. You and I were sitting downstairs. It was late on a night we were filming as usual, and he and I were sitting in our chairs reading over our sides. We'd been shooting all day, and Jonathan Zakura came downstairs. And he was just like, hey guys, I thought I would let you know your show is now #1 in the world. Good job, guys. And he turned around and walked back upstairs. And that was like the first I'd heard of it. And but I think the first we experienced it was all of us at Universal Studios when, we sold out one of the biggest theme parks in the world. Sold it out. We broke Universal attendance records, and people like you and your families were in there going absolutely crazy, screaming at us for all of our shows, and there was no way to not understand how much you guys all loved the show at that point.
So we've got one down here. If you'd like to stand up for me, please.
Good afternoon, Karen, Walter, Austin, and David. Welcome to London. I do hope the hospitality has been spot on and that you're enjoying yourselves. I don't have a question, I more have a request. I don't suppose four of you could stand up and say it's morphin time and then call out your dinosaurs?
Whoa! I tell you what, why don't we do that at the very end?
Oh,
but
that.
here's my requirement. You've got to do it with us.
All of you.
Damn right.
All of you.
So, I've just been told there was a musical version that you guys done.
Really?
Yeah, so this is what I've just been told at the back here. Can you lay a bit more on the line for me here about this musical number that you've done, or is this just fantasy?
I think maybe they're talking about a live stage show that used to take place, but we were never involved in that. That was just people in costume coming around the world doing like a musical thing.
We did the voiceover for it, but yeah.
Well, actually, me and Amy Jo, we sang on the show.
Say it again?
Amy Jo and I, we sang a song on the show.
Well, you sang songs, but it wasn't a musical.
It wasn't a musical, but yeah.
Me and Catherine sang a song.
Did you guys sing? Yeah. We sang. We had to record. We had to go to the recording studio and record the song, and I remember that it was pretty cool. Somebody mentioned it to me the other day. They're like, they said they recorded the song and they listened to it regularly. I was like, wow, I don't remember what the song was, but
yeah. Right. Well. Would you all come back for an anniversary special if it ever come about?
They've had a couple of them. I mean, like he said before, if the situation was right, we would totally do it. We'd love to do it. I mean, I think all of us would have stayed on the show if the situations were right. But, you know, it's just one of those situations. We're actually all part of the union now. And unfortunately, the show is still non-union, and we would lose, you know, health care benefits. We'd lose a lot in order to do it. So they would just have to work it out for us so that we could.
Well, thank you very much, guys. So that's it. Thank you very much to Austin St. John, David Yost, Walter Jones, and Karen Ashley. Thank you very much for joining me on this NYM bus sofa, and thank you very much to you guys here.
Before we morph, if we haven't met you yet, please, we're right around the corner. Come say hi to us. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to talk to you and, you know, all that good stuff.
Yeah, okay.
I'd love to morph with you.
Let's
Can you do that?
Let's get our morph on.
Can you do that? All right, we're gonna do a practice run. You guys ready for this?
Yes.
But I want to hear it come from your gut.
Yes.
All right? I want to hear it's morphin' time from you guys. This is a practice run on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Feed time.
All right, that was a warm-up. It was a warm-up.
All right.
Louder this next time.
So we'll do it's morphin' time and then scream your Zords.
Yeah, Karen and Walter, he's going to say Dragon Sword, I'll say Triceratops.
Okay, all right. So on 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. It's morphin' time!
Saber-tooth tiger!
Mastodon! Tyrannosaurus!
Dragon sword!
Triceratops!
And who are you? All right,
Good
God
job.
bless.
Thank you very much.
We love you, London.
We'll see you all very soon.
Thank you!